You ever get that feeling you're ready to ride, your jacket's zipped, your gloves are on, your visor's down, and then you pause. Wait a minute, did I check my tire pressure? Spoiler, you probably didn't. Neither did I. And yet we treat tires like that friend who just always shows up. But ignore them long enough, and boom, you're stranded on the side of a mountain pass with a wobbly back tire and no cell signal. So today I'm talking about two gadgets that changed all that for me. The FOBO Bike 2 TPMS and the Fanntik X9 Pro Tire Inflator. These two little guys are like the Batman and Alfred of tire care. One tells you what's wrong, while the other fixes it without drama. So stick around because I'm going to tell you how these work and how once you try them, you're never going to want to ride without them. All right, so let's rewind a bit. Why is tire pressure so important on a motorcycle? It's not just about smooth rides. It's about safety. Too low and your handling feels like a shopping cart with a wonky wheel. Too high and your traction suffers. Either way, your tires wear out faster than they should. According to the Rubber Manufacturers Association, yes, that's a real thing, riding just 5 psi under can shorten your tire life by up to 25%. That's not just a performance issue, that's a wallet issue. Motorcycle tires are not cheap. You don't want to have to be replacing one because of something that you could have prevented by glancing at your phone. And then there's the temperature. As your tire heats up during a ride, the pressure increases. That's completely natural. But if you're starting low, you're starting at a disadvantage. On cold morning rides especially, because the pressure drops with the temperature and you won't even feel it until you're in the middle of a curve wondering why the bike feels off. And trust me, it's no fun realizing your tire is low, 60 miles into a back road loop, with no air pump in sight and a gas station that's 20 years behind the times. Here's the thing. We all mean to check our pressure, but the process? Ugh. First, you gotta dig out the gauge, then you gotta crouch down on the ground, get it onto the valve just right, and then you gotta squint to read that tiny little dial. If you're lucky, your gauge is accurate. And if you're not, you're working with numbers that could possibly mean nothing. And heaven help you if your bike has spoke wheels or one of those right angle valve stems, or about 1.7 inches of clearance like the back wheel on my Nomad bagger. That is like threading a needle in a dark alley with gloves on. And that's usually the moment I just say, screw it, it feels fine, and I just go hit the road. But feels fine isn't a strategy, it's a gamble. It's one of those tasks that we know we should do, but never actually do it until it's too late. Like stretching after leg day, or checking your oil before a trip. Guilty. Enter the FOBO Bike 2 TPMS. This little guy screws right onto your valve stems and gives you real-time pressure and temperature right on your phone. It's like turning your tires into smart devices. You download the FOBO app, pair the sensors with Bluetooth, and boom, you're looking at both front and rear tire stats on your phone screen, color-coded and constantly updated. Green, you're golden. Yellow, something may be up. And red, yeah, that's time to stop off and investigate. But what's even cooler, if your pressure drops while you're riding, the app will alert you without even needing you to open it. You can have your phone in your jacket pocket, you can have your screen off, and you'll still get a heads up if something's going wrong. And the sensors are pretty tough. They're weatherproof, they're shockproof, and the coin cell batteries will last over a year. You'll probably need to change your tires before you change the batteries. And pro tip, you can even set custom ranges depending on how you ride your bike. If you're touring, bump it up a little bit. Doing a solo sport ride? Dial it back. You're in control. And for those of you with easily accessible valve stems, it'll probably take you less than 5 minutes to install these. Way less time than fixing a flat out in the middle of nowhere. For me, on my Nomad bagger, reaching the valve stems is a bit of a challenge, and it took me quite a bit of finagling to get these on, which is precisely why I wanted them, so it'll make checking my tire pressure as easy as unlocking my phone. So let's take a peek at what you get in the box, how you set up the app, and installing the sensors themselves. Go around the other direction, D, and cut him off. Hey, good boy. Oh, hey, it's got batteries already in it. How about that? Once you've got your pet shenanigans out of the way, you just need to go out and download the FOBO 2 app, install it, register and log in, set up your motorcycle, and then it's picture time. Once you've got a picture on your profile, then just set up your TPS ranges and you're good to go. It's time to go put the sensors on. Ciao, buddy. No, those are not for you. Those are not for you. Okay, you gotta let me by. Look at this. As we mentioned, maybe you'll have better luck, but our valve stems are really hard to get to.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
But once you get the sensor on, you just hit install, hold your phone next to it, and Bluetooth will pick it up. The back one, yeah, that one was a little bit more difficult. Let's see where we are here. Hard to get to. Okay, I want to install it now. As you're about to see, once you get it installed, you might get some really funky readings, and that probably means you need to update the firmware, which could take a little while. There's quite a few packages to download, but this is sped up for purposes of the video. Once you do that, you're good to go. I've been riding with these for a little while now, and I gotta say, it is a game changer. No more bending down with a gauge every time I ride, and no more uh-oh moments when I realize my tire's been losing air. It updates in real time, and the alerts actually work. I wish I had always had these since owning this bike. I recently neglected my bike over the winter. I left it sitting in the garage for months with low tire pressure, and it developed tire cupping. The ride I took down the interstate after that stint in the garage was straight up frightening. Over 70 miles an hour, it felt like my back wheel was sliding around all over the place in mud. Not a fun experience. We had to ride home with avoid highways on the GPS, which, come to think of it, it was a very pleasant backcountry ride, but we had to take it for all the wrong reasons. All right, so let's sum it up. The pros, super easy to install, real-time pressure monitoring, it works with multiple bikes, and you get instant alerts if your pressure drops. Now the cons, Bluetooth is range limited, so you gotta be close, but if you're sitting on your bike, you're good to go. And at $100, it's a little pricey compared to your old school manual gauges, of course. And a pro and a con is the fact that that little coin battery has to be replaced every year. On the one hand, you have to replace it every year, but on the other hand, you only have to replace it once every year. And another mixed opinion here is the fact that you have to associate the app with your email address. This is good and bad, because if you aren't using the lock nuts that come with it and somebody happens to swipe these off your bike, they're absolutely useless to them without your email and password to log into the app anyway. The con is, if you ever want to change the email address that is associated to your app, you got to contact the app creator and get them to wipe that out. And that's kind of annoying. I actually have had to do that. All right, now you know what your tire pressure is, but what if it's off? That's where the Fanttik X9 Pro steps in. Let me tell you, this inflator is slick. It's cordless, it's compact, and it's smart. You set the target pressure, say 40 PSI, you hit go, and it inflates your tire to exactly that, then it shuts off automatically. No guesswork, no finger over the valve strategy, and no checking 5 times with a manual gauge. And it works fast. On my Nomad, I went from 28 PSI to 38 PSI in about 2 minutes. It's got a built-in LED for nighttime use. It's got overheat protection and a little digital readout that's actually accurate. You can throw it in your saddlebag or your tank bag and forget about it until you need it. And unlike CO2 kits, it won't run out after 1 use. And unlike gas station pumps, it's not covered with who knows what and missing half its hose. Honestly, this thing's become a must-have for me. I use it on my cars too. Now here's where it all comes together. The FOBO tells you what's happening with your tires all the time, and then the Fanttik lets you fix it anywhere, anytime. Like Batman and Robin, but for your wheels. Just last week, I was halfway through a ride when the FOBO app pinged me, said my rear tire had dropped 4 PSI, so I pulled off in a turnout, grabbed the Fanttik, topped it up in under 2 minutes, and I was good to go. Didn't miss a single corner, and I didn't have to pray I'd make it to the next town. That's peace of mind that you really can't put a price on. All right, so nothing's ever perfect, right? The FOBO sensors, they could get stolen if somebody really wants them, even if you're using the lock nuts that come with them. But most people aren't walking around with valve stem tools, and the sensors pair to your installed instance of the FOBO app, so they're kind of useless to anybody who takes them once you have them installed. And the Fanttik, yeah, it's a bit bulkier than a CO2 inflator, but you're trading a little bit of size for reliability and reusability. I'll take that trade any day. And if you consider having to have extra CO2 canisters on hand too, yeah, it's kind of a wash. Honestly, I struggled to find any real drawbacks. These just work. Now let's talk about the numbers. The FOBO, it's gonna run you about $100. While the Fanttik, it's gonna run you about 70. That's 170 total, and yeah, that's not pocket change, but think about what you're getting in trade. A tire that lasts longer, a smoother, safer ride, no emergency pit stops, and zero stress before a long ride. Oh, and not being stuck in the middle of nowhere Googling air compressor near me. And guys, my little channel's not sponsored by either one of these guys. I'm just telling you how I feel about using them. And I've already saved the cost of a new tire and at least one call to roadside assistance. So for me, yeah, 10 out of 10. Totally worth it. So there you go. No muss, no fuss. The FOBO Bike 2 tells you what's wrong, and the Fanntik X9 makes it right. Together, they make tire pressure a non-issue. No stress, no squatting with a pressure gauge, and no sketchy roadside stops. If you ride regularly or ride far, this combo is a no-brainer. So guys, if this video helped you out, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Maybe drop a comment if you've had your own tire pressure horror story. In the meantime, we'll keep bringing you along for our rides. And until then, we'll see you in the next one.